This is going to be a video that you'll be able to just like come back to all the way through March. Come back to at any point because this is all going to be good reminders of how to deal with the intensity of what's happening, just as a general rule. This is true for all of us, kind of stuff. And using this intentionally and practically and courageously is going to make all the difference. So, the biggest thing, and we've all kind of been talking about it already, is the Mercury retrograde in Pisces right now. That's February 26th, so it came in yesterday, day before. You can kind of feel this stuff coming in really early, but and it's going to run until March 20th. Yeah, so we're going to have it for a minute. So it's retrograde in Pisces, and this is huge. Mercury's our communication, thinking, and perception. Pisces is dream, heart, and intuition. So what you're going to notice is that the usual speedy, logical clarity of Mercury is slowed down and softened. So there can be fogginess, misunderstandings, and things from the past can be resurfacing, especially like matters of the heart, intimacy, family, unfinished feelings. This isn't a problem to panic about. It's an invitation to slow down and notice what's rising. All of this energy is here for us to grow and let go of a lot of stuff that's not serving us. It's a way for us to evolve and move with all of the evolution of the planets and everything else that's like changing and going through this big transition. We get to go through it too. So we just get to slow down. You're not going to be able to help but slow down. And if you feel confused, just stay curious, not reactive. The energy can feel really intense, and so we just want to respond. That's why if we can slow down and notice what's rising, we can stay curious and not be reactive. So, and if you are feeling confused, just let yourself feel confused. Let there be misunderstandings. Cry if you need to. Say something you don't normally say. This retrograde is trying to reveal something that you didn't see before. It's asking you to get out of your head and into your heart, to listen to the whispers and the dreams that you normally just push aside. I'd also say don't make any major irreversible decisions from confusion. If you feel clear and certain about something, then move forward without second guessing. Use this energy to just push you forward into that. But if you're foggy, wait it out and use this time to reflect and process. So we also have Saturn and Neptune who are meeting in 0 degrees Aries. So this is a really rare and potent conjunction. This is a moment where, like, the structure of Saturn's all about structure, and the vision of Neptune's all about vision. They're going to meet at the very start of the zodiac. Think of it as the marriage of dream and discipline. So if you can take your highest vision and ground it into practical steps right now, you can actually manifest something meaningful and lasting right now. This is kind of like the fire meet water, structure meet spirit, which we're really supported in the unlocking project as we move into this radiance key um, in the activation sequence right now, because that's what the radiance sphere is all about too. It's about blending the spiritual with the physical, the body and the mind with the spiritual. So this is perfect. We're so supported. Be mindful. Definitely be mindful of the shadow, because this combination can produce confusion about what you're fighting for. You can have this fighter energy, this fire inside of you, and it can harden into like authoritarian or dogmatic expressions if we're not conscious. You can see that happening in the world right now. This authoritarian and this control and The two are just like clashing. Water and the fire are just clashing right now. So you'll want to force things because of that fire that's under it. All the more reason to ground in, connect to your intentions. Sit in the grass. So the practical ask here is to be clear about your why. Be the noble warrior who knows what you're protecting and why. Use Saturn's discipline to build for the long haul and let Neptune supply the heart, empathy, and higher vision. When they're balanced, and you have both a dream and the container to bring it into reality. This is very, like, hasn't happened in 1,000 years type energy. Yeah. Saturn also moved into Aries on February 13. So that's what shifted us into this like more warrior-like posture, this thing that makes us just want to push, and we're like, my way. And you'll see the two forms of this. You'll see the toxic aggression, but it doesn't have to be about that for you. It can be about commitment, responsibility, and disciplined initiation. Aries energy wants action, decisiveness, and leadership. And Saturn asks that it be responsible, patient, and built to last. So if you have planets in like Aries, Capricorn, Libra, or Cancer, this will land more personally for you. These types of things that are going to show up for those people will show up as a mirror around your commitments. Are you afraid of responsibility and follow through? You're going to see a lot of that right now. Are you committed to the wrong things that drain your power? That's going to be extremely obvious to you right now. Saturn and Aries ask you to get honest, to face the reality of your commitments and either deepen them with integrity or release what no longer serves. So channel your fire into a noble purpose. Let Saturn teach patience, structure, and the ability to build something that stands the test of time. We also have a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. This is happening the 3rd, which is Tuesday. So you'll want to do a lot of this stuff leading up to it. You want to be ready for that full moon when it comes on Tuesday. So, and this is a karmic full moon and lunar eclipse in Virgo, and the South Node is highlighted. So this eclipse is exposing what you're out of balance with. So you're having electronic issues? What's out of balance there? Is there something out of balance? You having relationship issues? Is there something out of balance there? Work seems extra hard right now. There's something out of balance there. It wants you to see where you're out of balance and where you may not be trusting yourself. Virgo wants integrity and sacred pattern, a code you live by regardless of the outside noise. Another reason to take all of this energy, this frenetic, like chaotic, nothing's working, keep grounding yourself, keep going to the grass, do your breath work. What is your thing that brings you back to center? Because it's going to help you live by that code regardless of the outside noise. It's going to help you stay in your center regardless of the outside noise. And in this overwhelming information saturated world, this eclipse asks you to step inward and discern what aligns with your values. The way we normally do it's not working right now, if you haven't noticed. This eclipse also is about completion. It's about letting go of anything that's blocking you from hearing your own inner guidance. We are coming home to ourselves. This can bring a closure from your past, a dream or a memory that helps you complete a karmic cycle. As you release old patterns, you create space for relationships and opportunities that are meaningful and supportive of your growth. A few Aries themes and how to use Aries themes energy intentionally would be like, so Aries is about decisiveness, commitment, and bold action. So the invitation is twofold. If you've been afraid to embrace Aries, to hesitate or overthink, now's the moment to step into clear, courageous action. If you overuse Aries, you're thinking, impulsivity, aggression, or taking on the wrong fight, you're being asked to release what disrupts your relationships and your inner harmony. That doesn't mean kick your partner right to the curb. Could you be what needs to release something that's disrupting your relationships, inner harmony, and your own? You're in a glass box. Can't see your patterns. If you go sit in the grass for a while, you might see a few things. Slow down. Come home to yourself. Be intentional. Also about how you use your will. And ask yourself, what am I committed to? Is this my path or someone else's expectation? Aries courage is noble when it's rooted in purpose and not ego. Commit to something you truly believe in and then pair that commitment with Saturn's discipline and Neptune's compassion. That's how we build sustainable initiation. So, a couple practical, empowering steps. 1, practice inner listening. With microwave. I've said Mercury's in the microwave too many times. With Mercury in Pisces, retrograde, and eclipse, it calls you inward. So make time to journal, dream, and notice repeating themes. I've just, in the last few days, for the first time in my 50-some years of life, noticed that I have a 5-year pattern of a veil lifting of some sort. I'm glad that just happened. I can relax again for 5 years. No. It's a pattern. It's not supposed to come for 5 more years. Please, no. They are very freeing, but they are very, so shocking. Just world shocking. Just, yeah. So, yeah, got a dream. Notice these repeating themes. Your intuition is your most reliable compass right now. And slowing down is what helps you hear that intuition. It whispers. It needs your attention. It needs you to listen. 2, practice courageous transparency. Speak your truth from integrity, not to provoke, but to clarify. Use sentences like, here's what I need, or this is what I'm committed to, or I'm confused and I want to understand. Vulnerability is the language of this period. 3, protect your commitments. Use Saturn's discipline to define a concrete next step toward a meaningful goal. Even small, consistent actions matter more now than impulsive leaps. These can be like the pauses that we're doing in the Unlocking Project. Just pausing before we respond. Having a practice in the morning. Some may find it very silly, but I'm really enjoying this practice. As I was given a glass mug for Christmas, and I do my coffee in it, and I do pour over, and I watch it drip in. And I love experiencing what's happening inside of the mug that I never got to see, but only from the top. And that's a nice slowdown. It's something I really look forward to in the morning. Even small, consistent actions like that can mean so much right now. Can really bring you home to yourself. Create an altar that as you pass, it makes you pause. Fill it with things that feel good to you, that make you take a breath or smile. Number 4, avoid irreversible choices if you're foggy. Talked about this a little while ago. So if the Mercury retrograde is bringing doubt, just pause. Pause on any major purchases, permanent breakups, or anything that you can't step back from later. 5, use discernment with spiritual or charismatic leaders. Don't listen to me anymore. The Saturn-Neptune dynamic can elevate vision, but it can also enable weaponized spirituality. So stay anchored test teachings against your inner code and values. This is about coming home to your own self and your own authority. Say what you need to say. Here's a little thing too that you guys can follow that I wrote out, for myself to help me stay connected to the energy. I can put this in the chat too. I'm stepping into what I truly value. I want to be clear about my intention. I am committed to X, you'd fill in your own blank there, because it aligns with my integrity and my deeper vision. I'm open to learning, and I'll use discipline to make it real. I also need space to process what comes up, and I'll be honest if I'm confused. This is how I'm choosing to lead from my heart. This is an opportunity and a choice, and it feels intense because it is. But it gets to be used. It's here to serve us. This moment is not a passive time to watch from the sidelines or survive. We're in a season of active participation in our own evolution, especially if you're in the Unlocking Project. The sky's offering both a challenge and grace, confusion and clarity, dreams and structure, impulse and discipline. Your choice, moment to moment, is between shadow and light. Will you contract in fear, or will you expand with courage? If you marry Neptune's compassion to Saturn's structure and Aries' commitment, you can build something that matters. The world is changing fast. The invitation is now. The invitation now is radical responsibility. Use your voice, unless you need an invitation. And then when you get the invitation, use it with courage and integrity. Use your integrity. Take disciplined action for the things that truly matter. This is how you can contribute to the new era that's being born. And make this feel like you're riding the horse instead of being drugged by it. We're definitely in the fire horse right now. There's a lot of energy. The fire horse only comes every 60 years as well. So even if you don't want to do all this other stuff, the best way to care for yourself during all of this is some kind of grounding practice, whether it's meditation, breathing, sitting in the grass, going for a walk. The more present that you can be in your body, the more that you can not get lost in the noise by sitting in the grass, by going for a walk, by being completely present in your body. How many petals are on that flower that you just walked past? Be truly in the moment. How do your hips move? Do you know when you're walking? All of those things are going to make it a lot easier to handle all the intensity of the energy that's moving through us. And there's a lot of not mining. Just say not mine. Say not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine. You can get the energy to drop out just a little bit. Some of it, unless it's yours. So, okay, I think that's what I've got for right now. We'll just start going through the charts and seeing how it's going to affect everybody individually.